It was a hot and busy Friday night in Lagos. Cars were stuck in traffic. People were tired and honking their horns. Everyone just wanted to go home. Tunde sat in his car, waiting. He had worked all day at the bank and hadn't eaten since morning. Now it was almost 10 p.m., and he was very hungry. Suddenly, he smelled something in the air. It was smoky, spicy, and very sweet. His stomach made a loud noise. Suya, he said to himself, licking his lips. He looked out of his car window and saw something strange. On the side of the road was a small suya stand. It had no name, no crowd, and no music. Just a small table, a burning fire, and one man turning meat over hot coals. Tunde was surprised. He passed this road every day. But he had never seen that suya spot there before. He quickly parked his car and walked over. The suya man was tall and slim. He wore a big cap that covered most of his face. He also wore gloves and a long shirt, even though the night was hot. He didn't greet Tunde. He didn't say anything. Tunde asked, "How much for this one?" The man said nothing. He just picked up some meat, weighed it with his hands, and held up 2 fingers. 2,000 naira? Tunde asked. The man nodded once. Tunde gave him the money. The suya man sprinkled pepper, added onions, wrapped it in old newspaper, and handed it to him. Tunde opened it and took one bite. His eyes widened. "Ah, this suya is sweet," he said out loud. It was soft, juicy, and full of flavor. The pepper was perfect. The meat tasted better than anything he had eaten in months. He stood beside his car and finished the whole pack. Even after he was done, he licked his fingers slowly, smiling to himself. Then he looked back at the suya stand. The fire was still burning. The meat was still there. But the suya man was gone. Tunde looked around. No one in sight. No movement. No sound. Just the smell of suya in the air. Maybe he stepped away, he said, trying to brush off the strange feeling. He got back in his car and drove home. That night, he slept like a baby. No dreams. No noise. Just quiet. But when he woke up the next morning, he felt different. His body was lighter. His head felt sharp. And his mouth was already hungry for more. He couldn't stop thinking about that suya. The next evening, Tunde closed from work around 7:30 p.m. He didn't even think twice. Before going home, he drove straight to the same suya spot near Ohodu Burger. The man was there again, quiet, standing alone by the fire, not talking to anyone. No name. No smile. No hello. Tunde gave him 2,000 naira again. The same routine. No words were spoken. Just suya, pepper, onions, and the unforgettable smell. Once again, the meat tasted perfect. Even better than the day before. Tunde felt happy. Too happy. And from that night on, it became a habit. Day after day, he kept going. Even when he wasn't hungry. Even when he had food at home. Even when he told himself, "I'll skip today." His body would still drive him there. Something about the suya pulled him. Then strange things started happening. One night, he woke up from sleep and saw something weird under his fingernails. Blood. Dry blood. He looked at his hands. He hadn't cut himself. So where did the blood come from? He cleaned it and tried to forget. The next day, he looked in the mirror while brushing his teeth. He noticed something shocking. His tongue was black. Not dark brown like pepper. Black. Like charcoal. He brushed harder. He rinsed. He used mouthwash. Still black. He stared at his reflection for a long time. "I'm probably tired," he told himself. But something inside him didn't believe that. That same night, he had a dream. In the dream, he was in a dark place. A room with no lights. He could hear people crying and screaming. He walked closer to the fire in the center of the room. And then he saw it. A body. Roasting. Turning slowly over fire. He couldn't tell if it was an animal, or a person. But the smell. It was the same smell as the suya. Tunde woke up sweating, his heart beating fast. He sat up in bed, confused, scared. But then, his stomach growled. And without thinking, he whispered to himself, "I need Suya." Tunde sat at his desk in the bank, staring at his computer screen. He wasn't working. He couldn't focus. All he could think about was the Suya. His mouth felt dry. His lips were cracked. His hands were shaking. "Are you okay?" his co-worker, Ada, asked. Tunde nodded quickly. "I'm fine. Just tired." But Ada didn't believe him. She had known Tunde for 2 years. This was not the same man. His face looked thinner. His skin looked grey. And his eyes were always moving like someone hiding something. That evening, as usual, Tunde went to the Suya spot. But this time, something was different. As he parked and walked toward the fire, an old woman sitting nearby called out to him,